Kading Public Sports Show. Today is Wednesday, August 28th, 2024. August 28th, that's my niece's birthday. And then Friday is my nephew and one of my sister's birthdays. So, a lot of birthdays this week, this month, for my family. But anyway, so happy birthday to my niece Chanel. Happy birthday on Friday to my nephew Cortez and my sister Janice, one of my sisters, one of my nephews, one of my nieces. Um, but yeah, today's gonna be a little bit of a different day, a different show. Just want to tell you all thanks for what you've done for me. You've been watching the show and whatnot, and it shows because again, you don't never know who's out there watching it and whatnot. But some people are watching this show, and they're talking about it, And before I get into why, I want you to make sure you like and subscribe to the channel, leave comments, okay, share content. All right. I'm not gonna hold you too long, trust me. But on August 4th of this year, I published a full-length interview with Greg Kading. Yes, that Greg Kading. He was on this little ass channel. Yes, he was. He was nice enough to interview with us. He allowed me to interview him via Zoom. It's broken down into four parts, but on the full interview that was published on August 4th of this year. About halfway through the interview, somewhere between the 14th and 18th minute, I asked him flat out. I said, "Hey, given the fact that you're a big city cop, he's from L.A. As you know, Greg Kading, he solved the Biggie murder and kind of in part solved the Tupac murder on some level, or that was involved in it or whatever." And he, he's always on the interview circuit. He's been on Vlad TV, Art of Dialogue. He's been on all these channels talking about his involvement in the Biggie murder. Saying there were no LA cops involved in it and things like that. And many fans have, not believed him and not believed his findings and things like that. Because he came onto the case, 10 years after the fact. And he even talks about that with his interview with me. But he's like I said, about the 14th, somewhere the 14th to 18th minute of the full-length interview, I asked him flat out. I said, you're a big city cop. This Biggie murder falls into your lap, and by proxy, the Tupac murder falls into your lap, and you're in L.A. Where all the television capital of the world is and whatnot. I think the phrase I used was, at some point, did you realize that you hit the lottery? Because I was talking about, you're monetizing this, you're getting TV deals and book deals out of it. He's talking about his book deals and whatnot, and he kind of had to do Keefe D wrong. The guy who was being charged with killing Tupac, kind of had to do him wrong. As a matter of fact, yesterday I saw on Bomb First channel that Keefe D did not make bail. But anyway, yeah. So you got all that going on with your Greg Kading and whatnot, and like I said, you're in LA. Did you not realize, I can monetize this? In so many words, I asked him. He declined all that. It was like, hey, no, I ain't really think of it like that, this, that, and the other. Didn't say it on the interview, but I didn't. I'm not gonna say I believe that part of it. And Greg Kading ain't a stupid dude. You're LAPD detective, or former anyway. You're a smart guy, and you're in LA. TV producers, movie producers, they want to hear cop stories from major American cities, or just wild cop stories from these smaller places. But any major American cities got two music superstars involved in it. That's gonna be easy to monetize if you got all the pieces to it, and Kading did. And he, kind of downplayed it. Here, watch the watch the watch it between me and him. The message between me and him.
So that's what I predict. I predict that he'll take a plea agreement.
Right. Oh wow. So okay. So now you had to personally talk with Keefe D when you wrote a book. Is that accurate?
Yeah, I mean, we interviewed him multiple times. We interviewed him when we talked about Tupac's murder. We talked about Biggie's murder. We talked about his narcotic activity. We interviewed him multiple times, and it was whatever information we gleaned from him is much of the information that I included in the book. And then, of course, that story got told again in a documentary.
Okay. Now, if I'm not mistaken, did you not have to go to, or you not have to, but you went to his house and told him like, "Hey, got a book coming out. You might want to be safe," or something like that. I mean, in a nutshell.
Yeah, I went and approached him, and I wanted to let him know that I was going to reveal the information that he had told us publicly, because I thought the public deserved to know what happened. And I just let him know, like, hey, this is all going to be out in the public domain. Just letting you know ahead of time, that what you told us, I'm telling other people.
Absolutely, absolutely. Okay, I gotta ask you. Okay, so you're in the department. Over 10 years. You're investigating the Biggie murder, which is gonna have a link to the Tupac murder one way or another. And you're a detective in a major American city. At what point did you realize, like, wow, I kind of hit the lottery here?
Never thought about it like that.
Okay.
I never thought about it in those terms. I just thought about it in the terms of, these were two unsolved cases. There were a lot of conspiracy theories looming around. There were a lot of innocent people being falsely accused of being involved in these murders. So I thought, I value truth, and I think when you defend truth and you promote truth, and so that was the motive. The motive was to tell people what we knew.
Right. Right. Okay. I guess I was thinking more of along the writing a book and your television series, which I watch probably 4 or 5 times, front to back every time. Uh,
Hmm. Well, the best way, to communicate to the public, at least back at that time, for me was, well, I'll disclose everything in a book. I didn't know that it would become a documentary at that time. I didn't know that the documentary would then become a limited series. I'm putting the information out there in a book.
Mhm.
And then that organically led to somebody wanting to make a documentary. And then that organically led to somebody wanting to make a limited, scripted series about the story. I didn't know any of those things would happen at the time when I decided to simply write a book.
Right. Okay. It was called Unsolved. It was started off on the USA Network, right?
Originally, and then Netflix bought it and put it in their library.
Like I said, he's been on other channels before, and so is Gene Deal. That man right there, Gene Deal. You know, P Diddy's old bodyguard. Rival of Tupac and whatnot. His artist Biggie was killed in Los Angeles 6 months after Tupac was killed in Las Vegas. Both were around 25 years old. Um, Biggie and Tupac were both around 25 years old. And sometime later that month, on August 24th of this year, the Art of Dialogue is interviewing Gene Deal. And Gene Deal says, in like the last 2-3 minutes of a 7-minute interview, it was published on August 24th. Okay, it's called Gene Deal Calls for Detective to be Arrested in Biggie's Death and Keefe ED claiming he wasn't in Vegas. That's the name of the video. Gene Deal talks about how he feels that Greg Kading, you know, should be arrested, for, and talks about his monetizing the whole sorry saga and everything and whatnot. Check this clip.
He should be in jail, bro. He should be in jail for lying about the profit agreement. He should be in jail for taking a federal document and falsifying the information on it. Yo, bro, he took evidence and information that belongs to the people of Los Angeles, that they paid their tax dollars. He took copies of that information, and brought it and wrote a book. If he was black, Hispanic, he'd be in jail right now. The district attorneys and everybody would be going at him. That's real talk, bro.
What I'm saying is this. This is how I know people have been watching, because I'm the first interviewer of Greg Kading to mention that to him in the interview. Like, what do you well, I'll put it like this. I'm the first person I saw. Okay? And I'm not saying it's even poignant journalism, anything like that. It just seems like a normal question to ask. You know what I'm saying? And now, the narrative is changing that, hey, Greg Kading's doing a little bit too much, involved in this case, making a little bit too much money off of this, getting a little bit too much of a profile off of this. And to which, that was pretty much just the whole basis of my interview or question right there. You know what I'm saying? Like, hey, how are we letting this guy get all this money off of this case with these two guys? Like, did nobody see this play coming? You know what I'm saying? So that's all I got for today, folks. I ain't gonna hold you too long, like I said. Make sure you like and subscribe to the channel. Leave comments, share the content. All right, tell me what you think. I think that I helped change the narrative of the. I've helped what's going to be a starting changing narrative, that all the smoke is blowing on Greg Kading. A lot of smoke is blowing toward Greg Kading. That started here. Don't let nobody else tell you different. That started here on this channel, the Betting Public Sports Show. Okay? No disrespect to the Art of Dialogue, fine program. I watch it all the time. That's his footage there, with Gene Deal. No disrespect to Vlad, no disrespect to any of these other places. Cam Capone, No Jumper, Carcino for Life. I can't even compete with these guys. My little weak ass podcast doesn't even compete with theirs. Anyway, but no disrespect to them, but that narrative started with me. And pay some goddamn homage for it. I'll holla.